live stream than last time. If my internet doesn't cut out on me, which it should not. Because last time it did, and that was weird. But yes, we're gonna
Not the first time that's happened, so...
Yeah.
Mind people, we make no promises.
Right, but it's cool.
If it does cut off again, we'll probably go so they can try to sort out any future issues. Because if it cuts out in like the 30-minute point, then this is going to be annoying from here on.
Right, but anywho, cool. We'll pause a little bit. For one thing, 'cause I want to get my food, but also because I wanted to promote this thing, but also because Cole, we did 100 Acre Woods last time. Want to just give your brief thoughts?
Hang on. Making sure it sounds okay.
Mamma mia. So yeah, but anyway, 100 Acre Woods. Brief thoughts. You gotta love technical issues.
Does that help?
Well,
Damn, I can't hear me very well.
Can't hear yourself?
Not well, which is weird.
Can you hear me, people on the...
I can definitely hear Joel.
Well, turn up your mic.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh, hang on, I got an idea.
Or put it closer to you.
Many people may have an issue. Yes.
To your
issue?
lips. To your lips like this.
Alright, I'm gonna check my microphone real quick.
Well, I'll start the gummy ship mission anyway, so...
Yeah,
it's
definitely not my microphone, Joel. I think it's the way you got your music settings set.
Well...
Check your in-game settings, Joel, because otherwise it's gonna be a very quiet video. Just hit your home button real quick, besides it's early, no one will be here.
Sound and devices, volume control, output, all audio, just microphone level.
Yeah, no, not...
I don't see, there's no such thing as game audio level, Cole. I see on your end. Because all I have is my headphones. Or get out and in the party. You know, there's a thing that says priority party chat and priority game chat. I wonder what prioritized game chat does. Well, that didn't do anything. Oh! I just turned down the music. Can you hear yourself better now? I can't even hear you, so that's a problem. Try again. I can hear you here. Cole, just get in and out of the party. And we're alone again.
Alright, I'm back.
Alright.
Alright, let's see if we hear anything. Waiting, waiting.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the hell? Why am I? No, just keep going. Just keep going, Joel. I'll figure this out.
Alright, well, we wasted enough of your time, people. I can hear you better now, Cole.
I can too.
Well, I think we fixed it, whatever we did.
Oh, not fix it, but I'm at least gonna. Ah, lovely. Freaking thing. You still with me, Joel?
Yep. I heard you for a few seconds, so whatever you did then.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's not on my end, Cole, I promise you that.
It's definitely, it shouldn't be on my end. My microphone's working well. I can hear myself through the microphone just fine, so that shouldn't be the problem.
This sure is
I
exciting.
don't know what the hell's up. It's this gummy mission. This is an annoying gummy mission to do on late game content. It's very annoying.
Have you fixed your microphone yet?
What do you mean fix it?
Can you hear yourself in the on the video?
I think the issue is, Joel, we're gonna have to reel in MacGyver how we have our audio set up for this. You're gonna have to specifically change your game audio and your microphone audio to be in a better sync for going forward.
We've never had that problem before.
Well, bear in mind, Joel, certain games are louder than others. Some are set to different sound.
I probably shouldn't do
Remember
that.
back in the day, remember Kingdom Hearts 2 at one point had a Dolby option and then a stereo option. So Joel?
I'm here.
Okay. Sorry, every time something happens, I'm a little worried we're gonna get cut off or something.
Sure. I'm trying to concentrate.
I know you're trying to concentrate. The reason I say because they cut out for a minute, I'm like, oh shit, please let me begin to broadcast. Well, I'm out, I'll look through, because I still remain in quality and whatnot. Have you ever actually fully completed a gummy mission, Joel? Like, fully get an S rank on a mission?
Nope. So I might die.
That's probably not done. Yeah, I would attack those big black things, shoulder bombs. Oh boy. We see you do a critical run, though. It's gonna be a lot load of fun. You do have lasers you can use, Joel.
I'm using the lasers.
I'm not talking about that. If you hold X, yeah, there you go. Remember, people, if you have lasers equipped on your gummy ship, you can hold X and charge lasers, and you can shoot some actual projectile lasers.
Hello, V-Griff.
What's up, V-Griff? V-Griff, how's the audio for both of us coming in on your end?
We'll try again just to make sure. To adjust the audio mix. can tell you one thing. I can hear us better now that I turned down the game volume actually quite a bit.
Alright, well, you're probably gonna have to turn down the game audio a bit more. Because believe me, I can still hear the game audio pretty well on the video.
What about tearing down your game audio, Cole?
In the game. All I'm looking at, Eager's doing fine. He did the blackout earlier today. Oh shoot, that sucks. Hang on, let me check the. Okay, that's much better, Joel. That is much better. That's much better.
Also, you get to hear Sword say, "Piece of cake."
Yes, so that is much better. So, before I guess from here on, what Joel and I will do is before we actually start videos, we'll check audio and whatnot to make sure everything's fine. But yes, now I can hear myself much better. Also, keeping the audio a bit lower will help with copyright. I don't even know why I'm yawning. Hey, Rock Titan getting fodderized.
Too bad the Titans are coming back again just because we've already beaten them a bajillion times.
Well, to be fair, we've only beaten 2 Titans, Joel. The other 3 Titans are actually coming too.
That's good.
Lava Titan, Wind Titan.
Huh? Are you sure this is the Coliseum?
Where are the people?
Oh, guess we were a little off.
Good question, Negriff.
Heartless!
That's the stupidest thing about the Hercules world is there's no one in the stands.
I know I didn't take a look at what the... It's funny, we're trying to save a person, yep, I gotta save first.
You get a lot of money, Joel.
Yeah, I do a little over excessive.
Jeez, Joel, how long did you train?
Thanks.
What do you mean?
You're 10 hours in and you haven't even gotten through half the game.
And you're supposed to be?
I trained a bunch for a couple hours today and yesterday. And the day before that.
Define a couple of hours.
You know Wonder Boy?
Well, we got to level 5 in Twilight Town. And I did a bunch of stuff before we got to Beast Castle.
Looks like we have a friend in common.
Then I did more stuff.
Hey, look, Disney characters actually emote.
Well, some Disney characters were emoting a couple times during Kingdom Hearts 1. Beast emoted, Belle emoted.
Well, some of them did. Most of them didn't. Beast did, Belle did, Aladdin did,
Ariel.
Genie did, Ariel does.
Peter,
yes. Wendy doesn't.
Hades
does. I think, yeah, Hades does.
Maleficent,
Ursula. All the Disney villains, but most of the minor supporting, actually, Joel, that's incorrect. Belle does not emote.
Well, Belle doesn't even talk in this game, and in the last game.
So none of the princesses emote, other than minus Kyrie.
Right. So
Kinda
today,
sad actually.
I'm gonna get that dang thing. Jump. So anyway, today I came up with probably one of the best fanfic ideas ever for my Kingdom Hearts series. Remember I told you... What?
Kingdom Nasty?
No. Well, okay, that's on the back burner. But,
Vigorous asked, did Jasmine emote? No, she did not. She does in this game, but not in 1.
But it's about the story... Riku in between days and Chain of Memories, although it will simultaneously take place during during days. It involves Riku teaming up with Max and Mabel, and the main Disney antagonist is going to be Jafar.
Nice.
I'm thinking now maybe Riku's team should be Max and Mabel. Ironically, both start with an M. I'm still setting up all that Dipper stuff. Well, I guess I can
Wouldn't
always
it be interesting? Wouldn't it be interesting though if you were gonna pair Riku up with another Kingdom Disney TV character? What if it were Max and Kim Possible?
That'd be interesting. Or yeah, Max and PJ, because they're best friends.
Are Max and PJ best friends?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's
They're the
interesting.
best of buddies, and Pete was Goofy's neighbor for years.
Oh yeah, that's right. I would love to see.
And he had a
I would
wife
love
and
to see-
daughter.
Yeah, I would love to see Kim and Kim Ron deal with Riku. That would be so interesting. Especially considering how Riku deals with Shiki from the Lowlands with you and Dreamcraft Distance. I would love to see that. The genie and you get
Grim.
genie and you get grip.
I think that's a
Oh,
joke
that's
I don't understand, but okay.
Oh, Vigriff, that's amazing. It's a play on words, Joel. G-R-M-M. Grim.
Well, Riku is Grim.
That's why.
Sorry, what was I doing?
I also want to point out tonight that Joel was the late one today.
I had work. Do I want to use... Should I use dry boost or see anything good here?
No, you're going pretty fast, Joel. It's hard to say. I would equip experience boost.
Yeah, good idea.
Vigriff, no, Joel has never seen Ruby. Vigriff, I have. I love Ruby.
I don't have enough for experience boost.
The sad thing is, I think Joel would actually like Ruby if he got into it. Especially because it's anime, but it's actually based on more classic fairy tales. But it's them in high school. Ruby has such a charm to it that I quite love. Such a good.
Run away!
The eager assistant, glad you got my joke. Yeah. Sad part is I don't think you could. Oh, this is so weird.
Oh yeah, well, why the organization members there in the first place?
And I love how Sora's like, okay.
Even he's like, sorry, soda.
With
You gotta-
Rieger says with a healthy dose of reality ensues. Yeah. Oh, look, it's the absolute silhouette.
You gotta love how I think in Kingdom Hearts 2 is where the humor starts getting a lot more modern.
But I kind of like that though. I also like how nonchalant Sora is in dealing with some of the really weird shit he deals with. Like when he saw Demix just run, he's like, okay.
Hang on, people, I'm gonna promote one more place. Sorry.
The sad thing is, I really don't think you could do Ruby in Kingdom Hearts because Kingdom Hearts is all about hearts, whereas a lot of Ruby revolves around the soul.
Well, unless you talk about the soul and the heart being the same thing.
No, Demix is just a coward. Well, yeah, that's his character. No, especially in Kingdom Hearts, they can explain it that the soul and the heart are two different things.
Makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I don't get that either. I've never quite gotten that.
I remember reading a Kingdom Hearts My Little Pony talk where they were
Igor
talking.
says they aren't the same. Yeah, it's so strange.
They aren't, and they are. It's all the same.
Well, the weird thing is, Ruby takes more of a stance on the soul, just more on the soul. Which is weird because Ruby has a lot of the same, has similar ideals to Kingdom Hearts. The only difference with Ruby is centered mostly on women. The four main characters are women.
So do you think when everyone dies, they go to Hades' underworld? As far as I'm concerned, they're the same because nobody wants to give me a difference here in this game. So that's on Nomura.
When people. Yeah, that's on. Well, the problem is the reason I don't like talking about it that much is because Nomura has a really bad knack of never talking about the soul, especially in Kingdom Hearts. He never brings it up. Maybe I don't even know if he's done that in certain Final. Has he done that in Final Fantasy? Hell, I don't remember.
I'm scared too, Normal.
Lord, we should get Blaze Blue up in here, because then we'd really have some interesting soul talk. Yeah, he rants and raves about the soul, but never gets into it. Yeah, exactly.
I've never heard Kingdom Hearts talk about the soul at once. It's always the heart.
Well, I don't think he's talking about Kingdom Hearts Soul. I think he's more talking about Nomura.
Oh. I don't know why I like attacking these. Doesn't do anything for me.
He says I don't ever recall him talking about it. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I think he may have brought it up before. Maybe. It may have been in an interview a while back. Then again, you can plummet through a ton of Nomura interviews and get a whole bunch of ideas that he goes for.
We'll say this, bringing in Bill Cipher will be confusing because he's all about the mind. And dreams.
You know what's
And
weird,
just
Joel?
insanity. Yep.
You know what's weird? We do a game specifically about dreams, but we really don't talk about the mind at all.
And memories.
Yeah. I find that I find that kind of hilarious.
Bill Cipher would make a great dream drop distance villain.
A lot of people would have made a great dream drop distance villain, except they never go into any of the ideas about dreams.
And Bill Cipher is from the realm of the dream demon.
Deepest dungeon. This time I'm bringing out the mother of all bad guys.
Hell, even Tact 2, the Staff of Dreams, deals more with the mind than Kingdom Hearts does, and that's saying something. Diego says, yeah, he would. He'd be a good villain.
Well, maybe I should go.
Also, why is he called Orin the mother of all bad guys? That makes no sense.
I don't get that either. Now, to be fair, Joel, maybe near the end of Final Fantasy X, maybe they're playing into that, but even with that, that makes absolutely no sense. Because you pretty much know the whole story. You know what
I let you out of the slammer. No
yeah.
strings.
Joel, you would understand this now. Vigor says, well, it's a cultural thing. I don't even know about that, Vigor, because the whole thing with Orin, and Joel, you can quote me on this too. The whole thing about Orin, and he talks about this a lot toward the end of Final Fantasy X. He says, I was just a boy. I wanted to change the world, but I changed nothing. That was my story.
No wonder no one wants to die.
Gotta love
I
Orin
mean,
though.
not only that, Joel, he had to watch his two best friends die.
That's true.
Remember, he was the one. Braska died defeating Sin, and then Jack. Well, that's a different story, but
So
actually, there's a scene you haven't seen yet in 10, Joel, where Orin says, where he's trying to stop Jet and Braska from trying to fight Sin. He said, as Sin comes back every time, the cycle will continue and your deaths will mean nothing. And Braska says, but there's always a chance it won't come back this time. It's worth trying. And of course they fight Sin. Orin, and then real Orin freaks out over that, and at the end he says, and the cycle went on.
wow. Also, this kind of goes into something. Also, this entire plot kind of goes into something you talked about: is Maleficent recruiting the other villains again.
Yeah.
Because Pete's here, and Pete's Maleficent's representative. Let's see, do we
I
take?
find it weird. It's all.
Keep going, sorry.
He failed. Vigriff said he failed his goal in defeating Sin because the cycle continued. Exactly, Vigriff.
Were you about to say something about Maleficent and Pete?
Which is funny because Hades is probably the only one that seems to remember him.
Well, or at least
Well,
her.
remember her anyway. Remember her.
And
Like
Oogie.
Jafar talks nothing about her. Oogie is the one who mentions something. Ursula. I don't even know why Ursula's even in this game.
Ursula's kind of like. I feel like she forgot Sora.
I feel like she forgot everything.
I don't mean.
I feel like Ariel forgot everything.
No, Ariel. Well, Ariel remembers Sora at least.
Well,
Sorry.
she remembers Sora, but she doesn't remember Ursula.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. That thing got retconned. That world got retconned.
And if she did remember, and if she does remember Ursula, that basically makes Ariel basically a horrible person.
Well, Ariel's kind of always a horrible person, even in the movie.
Well, and two, if that's the case, she's really a terrible person. Vigo says Atlantica in general was pointless. Exactly.
So I do like hearing Haley Joel Osment sing.
I do too. That's the only good part of that.
It's one of the reasons I always say Veneer should sing Hellfire. That's just me.
You know what's funny, Joel?
What? Or be prepared.
I love that Oren is a party member in this game, but I find it funny if he were ever to see Tidus in these games, he'd be like, and if they were ever to reference anything, he'd look at a younger Tidus, and I would find that pretty hilarious.
That's definitely something. I feel like that's why I want to see older. First, I want to see older Tidus. Period.
I do too, especially just hearing James Earl Taylor.
And then I kind of want to see if they can tie it into the Final Fantasy games, like.
Yeah. Well, what's funny, Joel, is the second visit of this world, you hear the dialogue of Oren trying to convince Breck and Jack not to fight Sin.
Does that mean like Final Fantasy took place after Kingdom Hearts? What's going on?
No, it took place before, because remember, Goofy says he must have had a hard life, and Sora says, yeah, but in the end, that's what made him stronger.
You're really good. Are you some kind of hero?
Maybe Final Fantasy took place in between Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2?
Well, Joel, actually, I should probably say, I feel like this isn't really spoiling it for you, because I'm pretty sure you probably would have figured this out.
Uh-oh, I got a phone call. Didn't you just can you entertain the audience for 5 seconds?
Sure.
I'm Sora.
Hello.
I love how Oren says, I'm just an Oren, my name.
Seems we were fated to meet. Maybe you need a
Oh
guide.
yeah, if we ever get a 10-3, Oren might have a daughter.
Guardian? Thanks, but no thanks.
The Goldwings are in the game. Yeah, Vigriff, that makes absolutely no sense. Especially if that means older Yuna. That also means Tidus and her never got it on, which also means that Riku. Yeah, continuity-wise, it would make absolutely no sense. It would make absolutely no sense.
Yep, I don't know how that got there. Alright.
It would make absolutely no sense. Fun fact, I actually do like 10-2 for what it is. I'm one of the few people that likes 10-2. 10-2's fun. Is it as good as 10? And no. Is it fun? Yes. And like I've said about 10 and 7, out of all of them, 7 and 10 I think were the ones most deserving of a sequel, and they're the ones that got them. Final Fantasy 4 I'm a little split on, but, you know, I haven't fully played through the if you've never played it.
One of them has the picture I used, the
So.
other two don't.
Yeah, I haven't fully finished Final Fantasy 4 the after years, so I can't really speak completely on it. I do like what's done with Kain Highland. I will say, if I wanted to see any other Final Fantasy character, I would love to see Kain get introduced. Love to see them do some good stuff with Kain.
I got it. I got this.
Especially because we've never had a Dragoon character in these games. I like 4 because the cast of the game annoy me the least. Well, in after years, typically the cast can get a little annoying. Griff, I'm not a big fan of Final Fantasy 13. Yeah,
I'm back. I'm back. Sorry about that. I'm back. Sorry. Small.
But Joel, I feel like this isn't really a spoiler because I'm sure you would have figured this out in 10. Oren in 10 is dead.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, it probably makes sense. He's a ghost?
Unsent. He's an unsent.
Unsent. Does he have some consent?
But you remember what that means, Joel. It's someone who was never sent to the front line.
Got right.
And oddly enough, it wasn't Sin that killed him. But that's a whole nother thing that gets into it.
Well, I don't want to know too much. Okay, off we go. Boom.
Yeah. Degers, boo. But yeah, Degers, we don't talk about Final Fantasy 13. We don't talk about it.
Look, pal, you just keep working on.
Which is sad too, because the voice of Kovu is in Final Fantasy 13 too.
Isn't that also the voice of Max?
Yes.
I'll handle this myself.
Again, it's
It's
so
a shame,
weird.
because I actually do like Noel in that game. He's one of the few characters in that series that I actually do like. And Caius, I like Caius. Everyone else, no.
Again, so odd, Hades and Pete's little alliance going on here.
Also, Joel, you know what's weird that Vigriff pointed out?
What?
The entire 13 trilogy was terrible. Yeah, I can't disagree with you, Vigriff. Yuna is here, but in her 10-2 attire, so that means she and Tidus never met, I don't think.
You know, I try my best to fit in the continuities of the various worlds where I can. I'm starting to regret where I put the Gravity Falls continuity, but I think I can still make it work. You know, and for Star vs. the Force of Evil, I'm kind of just going with a generic continuity just to get coffee involved. And you know, I don't want to think too, but some things are just too confusing.
Well, the problem is, to use some of the things you would like to use from certain continuities, you have to jumble the timelines in order to even use them.
I mean,
like if you wanted to use Kovu and Kiara, you'd have to jumble the timeline.
See, that's why I'm kind of going to play with the idea the worlds aren't on the same time sync for a couple of reasons.
I feel like that would be a good idea to play with as well.
For a few reasons. One, because I need Ventus to be his age and the timelines for the what I call the main timeline to be relatively the same, you know, 7 years before the events of the first Kingdom Hearts. But I need him to go to a world 50 years in the past, so...
It'll also help kind of work with the fact that certain versions of worlds exist in the same version.
And certain characters don't age.
Yes, exactly.
Like I need Dipper and Mabel to stay 12.
Like, especially, like, the whole, like, Joel, you and I talk about, and this is the one thing that has never made sense. The more thinks he's being cool with this encrypted talk controllers behavior, but he's not. Yeah, especially with the whole timeline. Especially, Joel, I think you and I can both agree on this. When, Cinderella and Aurora show up in one, I'm like, how old are you two? You look like the same age you do from Birth by Sleep. If that's the case, how does that even work?
To be fair, Maleficent had them in, like, cryostasis, so...
Yeah, but to be fair, we don't know when she found them. She could have found them like years later. We don't get definitive times as to when she found them.
Yeah,
and we know for a fact, Joel, that she definitely did not find stasis spell. I would almost say that, Vigor. The problem is, we know for a fact, especially with one cutscene, that Maleficent finds Snow White comes to Maleficent by accident. So
to be fair, that's only if you don't complete Wonderland. So who knows how canonical that is?
Yeah, but that can still be considered canonical. So if that's the case, I'm like, well, how the hell does that work? So timeline in Kingdom Hearts has never made sense.
Timeline
now,
between
Hercules,
the
it makes a bit more. Now, to be fair, with Hercules, it makes a bit more sense. Especially because Hercules has never had a really specific timeline anyway. And actually, the different times they use in Hercules actually fit in the best.
So apparently, I found out something interesting.
What?
Apparently, the passing on of the crown in the Pride Lands is not by boy, it's just firstborn.
Yeah, exactly.
So it explains why Kion is not going to be king.
I think so.
Yeah, that's why Kiara is going to be queen.
No, I'm talking about her brother.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you don't watch Lion Guard. I do.
Yeah, but Kiara was firstborn.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why she's queen. That's why she'll be queen.
Right.
I like the Cerberus fight a bit more than I do the one-on-one.
Because it's easy. Well, I guess I want to say I don't want to change my look here, but it's not as
easier, but it's a lot more engaging.
I like Sora here. It's like, I'm not leaving this dude behind.
Yeah.
No one leave the man behind. I got this, I got this, I got this, I got this, I got this.
Vigor's the same. Yeah. I do like Orange Limit. His is fun. The Shudo.
Yeah, it's a good limit.
Also, Joel, if you pay attention to the attack names, they're the names of Orange Overdrives in Final Fantasy X.
Nice.
Shooting Star, Vanishing Blade. And Spiral is just his final overdrive, which is Tornado. Actually, Bushido. Vigor's least favorite element. Oh, I love it. But I can understand.
Okay, good.
Also, Bushido is the name of his overdrive, which is nice.
The one thing I don't like about the combat is I feel like it's not. I'm gonna hate myself with this. It's not realistic. I feel Sora's got way too talented. He's doing all these flips and kicks, and I'm like.
I think what you don't. Actually, I think I see where you're coming from, Joel. I think some of it is the reaction commands.
Maybe.
Some of the reaction commands are a little too
bombastic.
Too bombastic and a little too above Sora's
I love this scene, by the way. I love Sora making funny faces.
Vigorous loves the reaction commands. I do too, though some of it, to be fair, in terms of his combat. Now, to be fair, Joel, I don't understand how Sora's doing any of this coming out of Chain of Memories.
They came to see me. They came to see a hero. I can't let them down.
Considering he's also been asleep for a year, so I don't get how he's doing any of this. Vigor says this is the natural consequence when you add shonen tropes to Disney. Yeah. Well, to be fair, Joel, Donald and Goofy have some pretty have some good reaction commands too.
I always liked the first game a bit more because it reminded me. I felt like the combat could have been more like lightsaber combat, classic lightsaber combat.
Ooh, no, not me. And I think that's reaching, Joel. I think that's really reaching.
I don't know.
Actually, and the reason I say that, Joel, is because if I were really gonna if the closest thing to actual good lightsaber combat you were ever going to get in a Star Wars game and a Kingdom Hearts game has never replicated this is Jedi Academy and Jedi Outcast.
That's true. I'm just saying that when I write my fanfic, that's how I always imagine Keyblade on Keyblade combat like.
Like original trilogy?
You know, just two Keyblades hitting each other. And maybe some cool moves. More sequel trilogy,
I feel
but,
like the sequel trilogy makes more sense, but I feel like if you do original trilogy, you're really limiting yourself. Because let's you and I be realistic, Joel. The best lightsaber fight choreography wise the entire original trilogy is the Episode 5 fight.
I like Episode 6 better.
Have I ever told you about the Killer Coliseum?
No, I mean in terms of it just being better. I like Episode 6's fight better too, but I'm saying in terms of best choreography, I think 5 is the best.
And that's the place we're gonna put an end to Hurt the Jerk's winning streak.
Vigor says prequel trilogy.
Well, I love some of those duels. I always imagine I always imagine Riku and Sora having like an Obi-Wan Anakin duel on Mustafar's situation.
I feel like that's what you need to be going for, Joel's more prequel trilogy, because that's what this game gets closer to, in my opinion. Actually, yeah.
It won't work for just anybody, and that kid ain't
Especially if you get to some of the later fights, Joel, let's you and I be real. The final Zenmus fight, that is a prequel trilogy fight right there.
That's an anime fight right there with high jumps and kicks.
No, I'm not even giving that. It's more bombastic if you think of it from the prequel standpoint.
It didn't have... Yeah, Anakin did not fly from building to building all crazy like that.
I'm not talking that, Joel. I mean just Riku and Sora facing final of them. That's the final fight.
Oh, that's true. I don't know.
That... And Joel, believe me, if you really think that's an anime fight, I would love to see what anime you're talking about, because I wish anime had that. I wish anime had that kind of style to it, because believe me, that's being really hopeful about what anime fights are like.
Well, that's the problem with a game versus a movie. You can't actually have fights like that in the game.
I'm talking about TV, Joel.
That's true.
Want another adventure?
And believe me, not every a lot of TV anime do not have as good of fights like that. A lot of them aren't even directed like they are in this game. That's why I said if you're going to compare Kingdom Hearts 2 to anything, the prequels are the best thing. Because for one, a lot of anime are very differently directed in terms of fights. If we're even talking Dragon Ball, if we're talking Naruto, all of them are much differently directed than this.
Gonna be keep saving. Alright, time to talk to Phil and do some training.
I wish Phil's training mattered more.
Yeah. You've never seen Harry Potter, Cole, but I wish if Yen Sid and Xehanort fought, I want it to be like the fight in Harry Potter 5.
Hey, champ. How you feeling? Better rest up.
That's a man. That's a duel.
Nobody's gonna pay to see a worn-out hero. Gabish? Remember what I told you.
Viger said, wish the final battle with Aizen was like Final Zenith. Thank you, Viger. Thank you. At least someone said it.
Sleep.
Thank you. Aizen is the main villain from Bleach, Joel.
Gotcha.
But ain't the junior heroes?
Because Joel, because the funny thing with you, Joel, is you profess that anime have all these really bombastic fights, and sadly, that isn't style. Yes, but in terms of that kind of fights, no.
Well, my fights always include just two people doing card games, or animals fighting each other. Or sometimes digital animals. Or sometimes weird little ball thingies. Alright,
And he falls into the smug snake category, yeah. I mean, hell, none of the Orochimaru fights in Naruto are as good as the final Zenith fight.
Well, doesn't Naruto take like 50 episodes just to get through a single day?
I'm talking fights, Joel.
Doesn't it still take like a gazillion episodes?
You're thinking Dragon Ball.
I don't know, I saw some Naruto. It took 30 minutes just to get through 5 seconds.
For one, Joel, anime and manga goes a lot quicker. Also, that's another thing I want to talk about. That's part of my reason with having a struggle with a lot of longer running anime nowadays, is they get really strong, stretched out. And I'm not talking just Naruto. Many long running anime have been doing this, and the worst offender of this is One Piece.
Try being a Yu-Gi-Oh fan where duels take 4 episodes.
One Piece has been terrible about it these days. One of the episodes I remember, I will read your comment in a minute, Vigor. But the sad part is there's an episode in One Piece where literally 2 plot relevant things happen in a single episode. Only 2, and they take like literally 3 minutes to do for both. The rest of it is just one of the characters fighting fodder. And that's why I haven't been watching a lot of those anime recently. I'll read the manga, but the anime, no.
To be fair, certain arcs are better than others. So, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yes.
I felt the Millennium arc was pretty decent. The Darts arc takes forever. It's not even important. Oh, you want to know?
Says,
oh, sorry. Go.
Vigo says what Kubo should have done was play Aizen's strengths. Instead, he turned into C-3PO. See, he didn't even turn into C-3PO, Vigo. He just turns into...
Save it if I wanted more. Sorry, but my mom. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. He turns into nothing, Vigor. After his arc, he's no longer relevant.
Yep.
Which is sad because he's still alive. One Piece, Bleach, Yu-Gi-Oh, Naruto, etc. Yeah, exactly.
Hang on, my mom's asking me for something. There we go. There we go. Sorry, I have to change my water. You want to know what I don't like, Cole? And I'm sure you've dealt with this. Filler arcs.
Oh, God.
You can have the entire season That has nothing to
Yeah.
do with the actual plot of the actual series.
Okay, I'm gonna rant here for a minute on a filler arc.
And to
So
be fair,
here's my
a lot of people
point.
and people like it too, but
Here's my issue with filler arcs. You can do decent filler arcs. It can be done.
Yu-Gi-Oh's
Problem
a good
is,
example, I think.
problem with filler arcs is though that is studio code for let's make some episodes and not pour our heart and soul into the writing. When I watched Bleach for the first time, Joel, and I got out of the Soul Society arc, which is one of the earliest and widely considered best arcs in that franchise, I watched an arc called the Bound arc. And I didn't realize until after that the Bound arc was a filler arc. And it was like 50 to 60 episodes of just this arc. And through it, I wanted to shoot myself. I'm like, be interesting, do something! Do something unique, do something! Kill a character, I don't care! Do something that doesn't make me want to gouge my eyes out from boredom! It's one of the worst arcs of anything I've ever seen, and
Why
it was
does the cinematic
such
here look
a
so weird?
slog. Huh?
Why does the cinematic here look weirdly rendered?
Which one?
What ones we're watching?
Like I said, details.
Yeah, the lighting looks a little strange. Now that I look at it. Vigriff says it's what killed Naruto for me. Oh god, Vigriff. Yeah, no kidding. The worst arc was the one with Nozomi. Which one was that, Vigriff?
Now, what's funny about Yu-Gi-Oh? Yu-Gi-Oh has at least 3 filler arcs. No, 4. You got the virtual world arc that deals with Kaiba. You got the Darts Atlantis arc, which deals with Atlantis. You got this another Kaiba one where they got a German billionaire trying to mess with Kaiba's tournament. You got also a spin-off show about something else. Actually, you got
Hey
some
Joel,
other.
I'll give you another good.
Now, to be fair, let me finish. I like the Kaiba one because it really goes into Kaiba as a character. It doesn't really come back much, but at least it delves into his psyche, or at least a little bit of his psyche. The Atlantis arc is interesting. I don't like it personally because it has nothing to do with the series, but I think it's okay. There's the one about dungeon dice monsters that is only important because it introduces the main character for later, who comes back a couple times. The other dual one is kind of meh.
I'm actually glad you brought that up, Joel.
Mm-hmm.
Because it made me think of a series a series that actually does filler, quote unquote, filler well.
Which is?
Avatar.
The Last Airbender?
Yes.
Well, I don't consider those filler arcs, just filler episodes. And I feel that.
I mean filler episodes. I mean, there are filler episodes in any show, but Avatar, I feel like it's a good case for how you do filler well. And the reason the filler episodes in Avatar work, it's like you said, Joel. Most of the time when a filler episode or arc comes in, it's always to service a character. It always is to develop a character.
You know, we have entire arcs, though. That's a little harder to...
It's to...
Sorry.
My Hero Academia does some good filler as well. Well, I'm glad to hear My Hero Academia does that. I'll tell you another, going back to One Piece. One Piece can do good filler, especially in terms of a character named Sanji Vinsmoke, one of the main characters. Some of the episodes deals with him dealing with his cooking, which the series almost never touches upon. But it does it in order to give us more of an insight as to how his brain works. And I feel like that's a case of how you do good filler. Why the hell is the lighting so weird?
I don't know, I'll just say this, Cole. If you watch Yu-Gi-Oh! 1, 2, 3... Hold on, 4... Good 5 arcs are from the manga and part of the overarching series. Everything else is kind of was made for this anime and part of the filler.
Yeah.
Not saying it's bad all the time, but it doesn't have anything to do with the actual series.
Vigor says, I don't like Sanji being there because of his suicidal code. What do you mean, Vigor? Explain that a bit more.
Explain.
Also, Vigor says it happened between the Arankar saga and the Execution arc. Oh lord, I don't remember. I have never seen that.
Now to be fair, Cole, I might be more okay with some of the... Oh, sorry.
His perverted personality doesn't do him any favors. The only time I feel like that's ever really... He never hits a girl. That's what you mean. Vigriff, I'm curious if you've actually seen this series. Have you ever watched or read a series called Kenichi? Because it deals with that, the whole thing about hitting a woman thing quite extensively.
Once Upon a Time's also a weird show because of its arcs. Because they don't really have an overarching story. It's just sort of a season, or half a season where there's an arc. And then the other half where it's, another arc. You know what I don't like, Cole?
What?
When a show has like a season that's split into 2 arcs, but they don't feel, but there's no combined connecting tissue to any of the 2 arcs.
You know what's funny, Joel? Funny you bring that up because I had that with House recently. I'm on the 3rd season of House, and we've gotten to probably my least favorite part of House thus far, and I haven't even fully watched it. I'll tell you what it's about in a second, Vigriff. The thing about House is his drug addiction and his leg, but of course he's an amazing doctor, yada yada yada. So he humiliates a policeman, and there's a whole arc about him having to go into jail and whatnot. And I'm like, this just isn't interesting. The reason House is interesting inherently is his whole thing of never connecting with the patient.
No, I'm going the right way.
But the interesting part is that's part of the reason what makes House interesting is when he does connect with the patient, because we get to see more of his psyche that way. We get to see what he's about. So part of the season was about that whole police arc, and then we jumped ahead the second half, and it's nothing to do with that. It's so strange.
Ooh, counter guard or aerial dive?
Aerial dive.
Okay.
So Vigriff, what Kenichi is about... at first glance, you would think it's a typical martial arts shonen. Oh, you mean Dr. House? Yes, Vigriff, that's what I'm talking about.
Am I going the wrong way? I think I'm going the wrong way.
Yes, you're going the wrong way, Joel.
Sorry, people.
But part of the thing, Kenichi basically looks like a typical martial arts manga up front. The interesting thing about Kenichi is it's almost classic Spider-Man and classic superhero tropes and all that. Kenichi starts out, he's, well, for lack of a better term, he's a wimp. He's basically a coward. He can't really fight. He has no talent whatsoever for martial arts. And he meets a girl who just happens to be a part of a very, very powerful martial arts dojo. And basically, he gets taken on by 6 or 7 masters that teach him martial arts. And it's the entire thing of he's not good at martial arts. And that he has to develop a being good at it on his own because he has no talent for it. And there are sometimes chapters or episodes at a time where he doesn't hit a woman, and that's the thing though, he's a pervert as well, not as much as some, but he's very much the kind that, but he also has a kind of weird idea of women where he won't hit them. But the thing is, his masters, this is an interesting thing, and what I like, also Demix is here, but the thing about it is, he has to spar with the girl that he made friends with, and he won't do it. But one of his masters tells him, so it's rude to hit women, but you're being even ruder by refusing to let her help you get stronger.
Stronger.
So basically, you trying to keep your ideals is even being more rude by not helping you get better to uphold those ideals. And to me, that's just so damn interesting.
Oh dear. Okay. You want to know another thing I don't like about TV sometimes, Cole? Once Upon a Time season 2 and 6 have this problem in spades. It's when you think the season's gonna be about one thing, but then like 5 episodes in they start to change it and it's about another thing, and then near the end it's about a completely indifferent thing.
I get another good example, and I hate that I'm even talking about this. Arrow season 3.
Let me get like the villain you think is gonna be the main villain dies 6 episodes in. He's played by Sam.
No, not even that.
He's played by Sam.
He fire yourself near limits. Yeah. No, it's that the season starts with the quote, "A man can't live by 2 names," and by the end of the season, Oliver has like 3 or 4.
My.
So it completely goes against its entire starting theme, without I think without ever meaning to.
That's hilarious.
It's hysterical.
So why do you think the organization's even here?
I don't know.
I like Sora. The guy's a broken record. I love Sora's kind of cockiness here.
I do too.
See, this is why I like Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora quite a bit. I like his personality.
Yeah. Also, Vigorous, Kenichi is very ecchi, though it's a bit more toned down as opposed to like things like Freezing, Sekirei, High School DxD, what else? All those.
Didn't look like he was here.
Maybe to Vigorous says maybe to cut a deal with Hades. That might be possible.
Maybe, do you think, wouldn't it be cool if they retconned this to make it so that he was looking for the box?
That would be cool.
Like, Xemnas was looking for the box the whole time?
Yeah.
Yeah, you wanna hear something funny, Cole?
What?
So when the dude who gets Riku to go to Gravity Falls, you know, he starts out all vague and mysterious, like, there will be someone there to teach you, you know, the ways of the light, blah 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 blah. And then Riku's like, you know, just keep baiting him about it. It's like, then he gets the dude who, it's Uncle Ford for anybody watching Gravity Falls. And then eventually Uncle Ford just breaks down, like, look kid, you're an edgy, moody teenager. You need to lighten up. I'm gonna send you this person who's gonna make you lighten up no matter what. I'm gonna teach you to lighten up. Wait, there's a save file. I think it's in the next room.
Yeah, it's in the next one.
Okay, there we go.
There's a lot of TV tropes, not just, and I'm not talking just anime and manga, because anime and manga do share typical TV tropes, because, you know, it's sort of a similar format. So there's a lot of tropes in these, and a lot of the shows that I really don't like.
I wish there would, I think Kingdom Hearts sounds like Stanley. Yeah, well, Ford and Stanley are still twins. They do have, I'm sure, each of their own personality. Fun fact, Stanley will actually take Riku under his wing for some manly bonding. But the idea is Mabel is supposed to be the one to teach him to lighten up.
But you were saying before that, Joel?
Okay. But to go back to the Gravity Falls thing, and I think Kingdom Hearts 3 is starting to embrace this. I want to see the characters deal with the more cartoony side of Disney.
Yeah, me too. 2 had a balance of it a little bit, but then after 2, it drops it. I said balance, Joel. If we're talking anyone, 1 deals with it a bit more, but 2 is the only one that deals with any.
1, I'm talking more like modern comedy cartoony, like weird pop culture
that's what I said,
references.
Joel. If you're getting close to any of that, 2 is one that kind of comes close to it. After that, no.
1
Days,
I think works for me.
Birth by Sleep. Days, no. Birth by Sleep, no. Dream Drop Distance, no. Recoded, no.
1 I'm okay with because I feel it has more classic fairy tale epicness in terms of its characters.
The thing I feel like, though, the reason I like it with 2 is that it brings a more modern sense to it while still dealing with those tropes.
I agree. I like
and
1.
I think that's why I love 2 in the beginning, is because it's almost a tale about seeing how you've grown up.
Sora, behind you.
I guess so. I like the child simplicity of 1.
Yeah.
It feels like a fairy tale epic.
I don't know if I go so far as to calling it an epic.
Well,
Yeah. but epic and fairy tale can mean two different things, Joel.
And that's again, I feel like 2 loses a lot of the fairy tale-ness of Kingdom Hearts, like the castles, the fight the dragon, defeat the evil king or queen.
Wait, when did they ever beat the evil king?
It's a metaphor.
Yes, but the metaphor has to fit.
Handsome?
No. Well, no, because that's Anthem's technically not a king. He was a ruler, not really a king.
It's a metaphor, Cole.
Make the metaphor work, Joel. They gotta defeat the sorcerer. How about that?
Alright. Why isn't Pete dying?
You're not intimidating, Pete. Since when has Pete ever been intimidating?
But why is Pete not dying? That's my question.
He will. Just give him time. I think you have to beat the Heartless, if I'm correct.
Oh wait, here we go. He just wasn't his time yet. Wasn't his time. That's getting sad sounding. It wasn't his time.
Well, to be fair, Joel, keep in mind 3 is at a new time, especially for Disney.
True.
Disney is starting to really come back, really big into the limelight. At a time where 2 was at a time where Disney was still trying to find its footing. If I'm correct, 2 might have been out around the time when Princess and the Frog was coming out.
No, it's 2006. That was 2008. So I think Eisner just resigned and Iger was just taking over.
So it's still a time where Disney was still trying to find its footing before we had things like Frozen, Big Hero 6, Tangled.
2008 was when Disney started to heal again.
So to be fair, Joel, even when this game was made, Disney was at a really weird time back then.
I think Iger took over in 06.
What movies even came out by Disney in 06? This was before, and bear in mind, this is before Disney owned Marvel, I think.
I don't think much. I remember a lot of the last big animated movie was that cow movie with Roseanne. So you can see how low Disney fell.
Yeah, so when 2 was around, how would you implement the soul into Kingdom Hearts? Oh boy.
I just have Bill Cipher say, the soul, the heart, and the mind, it's all the same thing, really. I just have him be, like, condescending about it. No, I kid. Well,
I kind of like the idea of the heart kind of being the everything, the essence of a being. So bringing a soul in my opinion, is kind of superfluous at this point. As I really don't think there's much you can do with a soul that Kingdom Hearts hasn't really done. Jared glares at Joel.
Yeah, honestly, what you say to the same thing at this point? Because that's what Kingdom Hearts is.
I don't know what else you could add in terms of soul at this point.
Especially that didn't apply to what they said about the heart.
Yeah, I don't know what else there is to be done with it. Especially if you're going by the logic, especially Iron Man, where that's all about being the heart being the metaphor for the soul, where Tony keeps saying, I know in my heart I have to do this. Which is funny, because Iron Man, the first one, is all about Tony's heart.
Proof that Tony Stark has a heart.
That's
and still
he
adorable.
has to have a magnet over his heart to keep him alive.
Hey, he played Sora real good here, I gotta admit.
Yes, he does. And I buy it more than I do in Chain of Memories.
See, I always play with the idea that Hades was not around during the time of fairy tales, like he came afterwards, so that's why people like Bill Cipher and Shurtlerbog in my mind are like higher beings than even he is.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
Especially when you start bringing Final Fantasy in the mix, soul. That's when the idea of the soul gets really. When you start trying to mix those two, that's when you really start trying to. Viger says no, he came before.
I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe the Greek gods were around during the early times.
Well, bear in mind, Joel, Hades is god of the underworld, so someone had to lord over the dead.
This can't be.
Not unless you do the Once Upon a Time thing where you kind of fuse Christianity and Greek mythology together.
Are we really trying to... really, Joel, we're talking about fusing Christianity and that together?
That's what Once Upon a Time did.
Champ.
It made the
Well,
underworld,
Joel.
heaven, and hell.
I failed.
Well, the funny thing, Joel, is,
I left everyone
Degrif glares.
protected.
That's what it
Well, the
did.
funny thing is...
That's what Once Upon a Time did, so, you know what? I don't care, I'm gonna do it.
Ah, come on, champ.
Well,
Who
the funny
cares?
thing is that
I'll be
DXD
respectful.
Like that?
Wonder Boy.
Bill's right. This is no
What?
time
Well,
to
the
beat
funny
yourself
thing
up.
is, DXD basically fuses all mythologies
So
together,
cute.
and actually pretty works. Mainly because DXD is very loose with it.
Well, that's what you gotta do in Kingdom Hearts, just be loose with it. After all, it's all
Like
about
the
serving the story.
Yeah, we're trying to serve a story. We're not trying to represent every mythology, because the moment you try doing that, the moment it will never work. Because certain mythologies, certain religions are very different from one another.
Besides, you already got Chernobog, who's Slavic Satan, pretty much. So,
Then you have the thing of Chernobog, basically being Satan, and Hades being Satan, and then the
well, I don't think
representation
Hades is
of,
Satan. Hades ain't Satan. He's something else. That's always. He's not the devil. That gets mixed
Well,
up.
Greek mythology, he would be the devil, Joel.
No, there's a difference.
Greek mythology, Joel, that was before the devil was a thing.
Exactly.
That's why I said he was at that time the devil. He was as close as you were gonna get. And actually, yeah, he would have been the devil. If we're talking both Christianity and Greek, Hades at that time would have been the devil.
Actually, no, because Hades ain't really about sin and stuff like that. He's just about.
Well, that's. I'm not talking about that, Joel.
I love in the Once Upon a Time version when somebody called Hades the devil, he goes, "I'm not the devil," but people have gotten that confused.
The thing about Hades, especially if we're talking mythology, I mean, Hades was Zeus's brother and was technically one of the gods. And if we're talking about Lucifer, Satan from Christianity, and people, if I get this wrong, forgive me.
We get all sorts of weird comments now. We're gonna hit all. Oh,
But as far as I know, in Christianity, Satan was once an angel, and he
Yes.
fell.
To rule in hell and be a servant in heaven, as Khan said.
Yeah. But Joel, remember what Frollo says in Hellfire. He's like, I'm not to blame if in God's plan he made the devil so much stronger than a man.
Da 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 da.
Why are we even talking about this?
But we're in Greek mythology land, and they don't even follow the rules because Hades is not even like his actual counterpart.
Well, if he were like his actual counterpart, Joel, he would want Sora's soul.
Well, he probably does. He wants Sora's key.
I think he wants the key.
Well, he does. He did, and he got it. Hang on, stupid. I better not lose to this thing.
You know what would be imagine if we see Hades in Hunchback, Joel. Imagine that.
Oh lordy.
Imagine seeing Frollo and Hades interacting together. That's probably something interesting. Hades is rather benevolent from what I read about them. I think it depends on what version you read about him, because that's the thing about Greek mythology. There are kind of different versions of Hades.
Well, compared to the Disney version, he's quite benevolent, actually. He actually doesn't really
Yes.
care. And of course, Once Upon a Time, again, makes things complicated because you got Rumpelstiltskin being the Dark One, so clearly death and darkness aren't the same thing.
Wonderful.
Well, death isn't inherently evil. It's like what Yoda says eventually. Death is a natural part of life.
This part of...
There won't be any games
Want
for
them
a
do
while
not,
anyway.
miss them do not.
Okay, so Joel, if Chernobog is the devil, then who's
Don't worry
God?
about Wonder Boy here.
Kingdom Hearts. Or Walt Disney.
Don't worry.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
I owe you big
Because I
time.
totally need to hear in Kingdom Hearts, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, now and forever, until the end of time.
End of Kingdom Hearts 3. Sora becomes God.
You know what's funny, Joel?
Save
What?
that for another time.
Transformers even quoted that.
Okay. Don't
Well,
be serious.
Transformers had the God and Devil.
Gorge, I'll give you
Primus
yeah.
and
Well,
Hercules.
Well, Primus
Unicron.
and Unicron, that's the whole thing. And then Beast Wars, that's the entire thing. The thing of Primus, that's a quote. It's basically the Bible for Transformers. The true secret, yeah.
Well, time to go.
These worlds are shorter than I remembered.
The Olympus Stone.
Joel has forever complained to me, these worlds are so damn long.
Well, maybe because I'm going really fast here, so I could just be that.
I was about to say, I'm like, Joel, these worlds are not long at all. None of the Kingdom Hearts worlds in any of the games are really long. Well, except Dream Drop Distance, but that's a different story.
Oh man, you're right, I don't remember. We're gonna have to,
We're gonna have some really interesting comments on this video.
I don't even know anything about mythology, I don't even care. Only mythology I like is Star Wars mythology, thank you. And we might get in a show about the Mandalorians, so that's gonna be fun.
Well, the sad part, the odd thing about
That's true,
mythology
Vigors,
right
I have
now,
over
Star Wars
leveled.
is well, the funny thing is,
Oh, wait, here's a good scene coming up after this, so listen. It actually addresses some stuff we've talked about.
what?
The scene with Maleficent.
Where is everyone else?
What about it?
They must have had
Listen
some
what she's
other
saying.
things to deal with.
Matters.
I can't see what she's saying yet, Joel.
You mean they have more
Now I can.
important affairs to attend to than my return?
Oh, yeah.
Well, see, there's this organization 13 that keeps getting in the
You know,
way.
Maleficent, they all kind of did die.
The little game.
Except Jafar.
But what about that run with the Keyblade? He's been around
And Hades.
too.
Oh, has
Everyone else, they kind of, well, we don't know what happened to Hook.
Very well then.
He's still
For all we know, he
alive.
could be
Tell me
well, you know what?
what's
He,
happened
for all we know, he
during
could still be
my
running out in the ocean
absence.
somewhere.
You know, Maleficent really should have gone to Agrabah and tried to free Jafar herself.
I'm surprised she doesn't.
You think she'd have... I mean, I know probably maybe she didn't like him, but I feel like he was like her number 2.
Wonder where that old album could be. Queen Mimi! It's horrible!
I feel like the problem with pairing Maleficent and Jafar together is the fact that they inevitably can't stay together.
There's real sharp thorns.
No, but I do think there's sort of a respected rivalry between those two.
Well, respect, yes, but the problem with keeping them paired together is the thing with Jafar is he's a snake. He always is.
Oh, no, I know
at
that,
some
but...
point, so at this point, he's going to double cross her.
I wish you could hear me.
Jafar is basically the Starscream of this universe. Eventually, he's going to try to double cross her, and he's going to suffer for it.
True, I know that. Well, hey, remember, Cole, at the end, Starscream went back to Megatron and became more loyal than ever.
Which one are you talking about, Joel?
Prime.
Oh, Joel, that's just one thing. If we're going by any other continuity, G1, Beast Wars, Armada, Cybertron, Animated, everything
Cybertron.
else.
True, but I base my Jafar a lot off the Prime version. Because he's my favorite.
Freeing Jafar would have made more sense than turning him into a Heartless. Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, not G1 Starscream. If we're talking G1 Starscream, Jafar would have double crossed her immediately and would have pulled and Maleficent would have pulled a Galvatron, fried him, and that'd be the end of that.
I mean, I still might have that happen either way. Jafar does in my
Also,
fan
Joel,
fiction.
Joel, keep another thing in mind too. At this point in the game, if we're just talking about 2, if no one has control over Jafar, Jafar could technically has more power than Maleficent could ever dream of.
But I would like it that Maleficent has control over his lamp. Or, no, you know what I would do? I would have Maleficent get the lamp. She would be the Jafar's master. And the first thing she wishes for was, I wish he weren't a genie anymore. And I know that sounds really silly to think, but I think it makes sense that she would wish that. She wouldn't want him on a higher level. She'd want to be normal.
But the problem is, inevitably he's going to try to double cross her.
True, but I feel like Maleficent would be cocky enough to believe she can handle him. Which I think she could.
Yes, but problem is, Joel, she wishes him free, then she's no longer his master.
My Maleficent has a bit of uses a bit of brute force on her side, and I kind of have a thing where Maleficent has control of the Heartless, and that's kind of the reason how she even gets Hades on board for this. Like, she knows things that even Hades doesn't, so...
Yeah, but again, Joel, Jafar's gonna will double cross her.
Oh yeah, I know that, but still.
If we base Jafar on the movie alone, he is going to try to double cross her.
Well, I know that. But again, Cole, my story, my rules, so... my story.
Well, I realize that, Joel. Problem is, you gotta back that kind of characterization up if you want him to be like he is. Because I know that's how you love Jafar. You've got to make that work.
Well, it must be working because I get a lot of people liking my story. I'm up to 49 views.
Well, that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, to the point where you get to that point where you have Jafar and Maleficent and that thing.
Oh, I think I got it. I actually do have a good stint where Jafar is on his own, doing his own thing.
Deeger says, I'm pretty sure that Jafar wouldn't screw Maleficent while she's over because he respects her, and I'm pretty sure they'll come to an understanding. The thing I've always thought about Jafar and
Maleficent... I think he's being sarcastic, Cole. I
think the thing with Jafar is, I think the way his and Maleficent's relationship plays out is its mutual interests. Also, Joel, the other thing you really got to be careful about, make sure you set up is, are you playing that Jafar is also the most powerful sorcerer?
He's a powerful sorcerer, but he's not the...
Yes, but remember, he wished to be the most powerful sorcerer in the original Aladdin movie.
Oh, yeah, well, he didn't in the game. Remember that. He just kind of has magic.
I don't know what your story is doing.
Same with the game. He just kind of has magic.
Okay, so even if he wishes her powers away, even if she wishes his genie powers away, then inevitably.
He's a powerful sorcerer. I don't know how powerful.
So even then, he's got some power, and even then, I don't think Maleficent would think it's a decent idea to try to screw him over either. I feel like the relationship between Maleficent and Jafar is always one of understanding. It's always a common goal. Not really a like-hate relationship, a love-hate relationship. More so, you are a means to an end, and that's it.
I've written pretty much in my story that Maleficent's the dominant partner.
Of course.
She's got more of the cards. She has all the cards. What am I saying? Sorry, I'm just getting all these.
I feel like Eager, if you'll know what I'm talking about. If you were gonna play Maleficent and Jafar as anything, you would do this just better. You would do it very much like Madara and Obito from Naruto. I
played like Tarkin and Krennic in one scene, but that's just me.
Well, that basically is Obito and Madara, Joel.
One had a white cape and the other played like Peter Cushing?
No, I mean dynamic.
Okay.
Deeger says agreed. Thank you, Deeger.
Well, I think I pretty much did that pretty well. Right now, Jafar is Riku's genie in my story.
The whole thing with Obito and Madara is Obito has complete control over Madara, and he says, for now, you'll do what I say. He's like, you've gotten much harder to handle in our relationship, and Obito just says, I never was your friend to begin with. You're just a means to an end right now.
I will say, I kind of play it like, for me, where the group, it's like, Maleficent, Jafar, and Hades are more on equal footing with each other. They're like the triad. Yeah. Pete's the loyal one. And like, kind of play Ursula. I kind of don't really have much for Ursula and Oogie, sadly. They're just kind of there sometimes.
Well, Hook's kind of like just more muscle or more just try stuff just to try to get shit done. Oogie, unfortunately, isn't really helpful because he really doesn't have anything useful.
I actually give him some stuff to be useful, actually. I say he has the power over fear.
Yeah.
Which is good for Ursula, converting heart to the darkness.
The problem with Ursula is we don't... Yeah, I really don't know how you use Ursula other than that.
She's just kind of there, sadly, and that's kind of the way I gotta write it. Hook I use as sort of as able to travel, get people to travel between the world with the ship.
Oogie's the rat, it's a Maleficent's group. Oh, but Vigriff, that's giving Oogie too much credit.
Sean Yu would make a good addition to the group because I feel like he would provide like a tactical knowledge.
Yeah.
He would be like the Thrawn of the group.
Yeah. The thing is, if you were going to keep the Disney group after 1, I don't think I don't think it's really interesting that they're all buddy-buddy with each other.
Well, no,
At that point,
they're not buddy-buddy. They're Maleficent keeping that group together just by sheer force of will.
Yeah, because at that point, you make them all buddy-buddy, I'm like, well, then they're not... Beaker says that wasn't a compliment. Yeah, I know.
Oh, no, Cole,
Yeah,
don't worry. I'd never make them buddy-buddy, even when they're at their height of their power.
Because the moment you do that, you're like, oh, well, well, yeah, but the entire interesting things about those villains is that they're conniving.
Have you ever seen the 2002 He-Man?
No, I've never seen He-Man.
Well, for anybody who's seen the 2002 He-Man, I play them like Skeletor and his evil warriors. That's how I've always played the Disney villain grouping.
Beaker says then he's the Cyberman. Yes, Beaker, yes.
I don't know why I'm writing all these.
Well, no, because Oogie doesn't kill anyone, kind of. Well, no, Oogie doesn't kill anyone, but even then, the Cybermen didn't kill anyone.
Here's a better example. I do play them quite a bit like the Decepticons, Cole. They are pretty much the Decepticons.
Yeah. I would probably call Hades the Shockwave of the group, Jafar the Starscream, and Maleficent the Megatron.
Who's Soundwave?
Shockwave. Oh, Soundwave. I guess. No, Hook.
But isn't Soundwave like uber loyal to Megatron?
Yeah, but Hook isn't. We've never really seen Hook trying to double cross Maleficent. The only one he really tried to double cross was Riku.
And then I can't blame him for that.
Yeah. I guess Oogie would be Blitzwing.
Your Royal Highness, did you have
I guess. What other Decepticons were there in the original G1? Sky Warp, Thundercracker. What Decepticon is Oogie? Blitzwing, Beaker. Yeah, what other Decepticons were there in G1? Sky Warp, Thundercracker, Shockwave, Starscream, Soundwave, Rumble, Ravage, Frenzy. Hell, who else? Constructicons were there eventually. Who were the original Decepticons then? I'm trying to think.
I don't remember. I only remember Prime.
So those are the Heartless.
Don't worry, we'll take care of it.
Hell, who else was there? I feel like I'm missing someone important.
I know I can count on you, Sora.
You know who the Disney villains I don't want in Maleficent's group for some strange reasons?
Could you please escort me to the
Frollo,
Olympus
Yzma, Evil Queen, Lady Tremaine.
warn everyone else in the castle about the danger.
I kind of want to keep all the Disney TV villains as their own separate thing.
Okay.
Yeah. The problem with trying to add Lady Tremaine, Frollo, and the Evil Queen in is they are very different types of Disney villains than the others.
Okay.
And also, the hard part about adding Frollo to them at all is Frollo has a very, very different worldview than any of them.
Let's be on our
Like, if I were to, like, at the height of the group, if I were to keep them all together, it'd be Maleficent. Let me see how many abilities I got. Okay, good. Oh, I want to keep guarding, sorry. But, let's save again. Oh, wait, get this.
Oh god, I just forgot where we're about to come to, Joel. We're about to come to Timeless River. Tremaine and Frollo are just normal people, exactly. And it's like I think you and I talked about this last time, Joel. Frollo is not without guilt.
Until the end.
Yeah. So if we're doing earlier Frollo, him trying though, it would be interesting to see him in the Halabastion Chapel. That would be kind of fun.
I would have the Evil Queen and Maleficent maybe team up, but it would be a temporary alliance.
Yeah. I don't see how you add Frollo to them, especially because he is a zealot, and I don't see him playing well with any of the others.
At the height of the group, I would probably have it be Maleficent, Jafar, Pete, Oogie, Ursula, Hades, Dr. Facilier, Sean Yu. And that's kind of it.
Yeah. Vigo says he's the apex of light is not good of the Disney franchise. Yeah.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, well, to be fair, yeah, I wouldn't go that far either. If I had to give Frollo a character trait in terms of the Disney franchise, he embodies corruption and selfishness to the highest degree.
As George Lucas says, the dark side is selfishness.
He is the apex of corruption and just selfishness.
And sin.
He is almost in a way the definition of evil. Knight Templar, yeah. He's the definition of that.
Queen of Hearts is also another one I'm glad they didn't make part of the group. I mean, it's strange.
Me too.
As soon as the trouble started, I made sure to seal
And Corel de Vil, she wouldn't work out.
Yeah.
Although I do have like a story where like all the non-group members of Maleficent's team would like join together with Maleficent as like semi-replacements for a little bit, and then she get her regular villains back.
You know, I just thought of something, Joel. Wouldn't Genie be able to rewind time?
not here too.
I don't know. Maybe. I say
That
that.
is never that is never a rule that is given, so that might be within his realm of power.
That's why in my fanfiction I forbid all time travel spells. Time travel cannot work in magic, in genie magic at least.
Wonderland characters operate on alien morality, so having one of them join Maleficent's group would just be dumb. That's part of the reason why having Frollo, Tremaine, and all them in would really not work.
Unless it's a temporary thing.
Yeah, and also the thing about them is their villains represent different eras of Disney, except Frollo, but all the others, they represent really different eras.
Except Hook.
Let's go.
Yeah.
This way. This way.
Oh, I hate this thing. I hate this
Well,
thing.
and Maleficent.
Yeah, they're both in the 50s.
This way.
But after that, that's when we got Jafar, that's when we got Ursula,
This
when we
way.
got Oogie,
Let's go.
when we got
Give me-
Hades.
This way.
We're about to get Mother Gothel, hopefully.
Let's go. This way.
It's sad that we won't see the villain from Big Hero 6, but I'm pretty sure it's a sequel to the movie, so that guy is either in jail or dead.
I mean, he could always get released. There's always revenge plots.
This way.
I so wish we'd get Syndrome in one of these games.
I mean, maybe one day we'll get Incredibles.
This way.
Because I feel like he'd be perfect for Kingdom Hearts.
This way.
What Pixar movie did I want? I wanted Moana, that's right. I wanted Moana.
I do too, I really want Moana. And I feel like Moana would fit the best.
I went Kyrie as the main character for that world.
That
They
way we can
both-
finally get and also we can finally get Dwayne, and we can get The Rock finally in Kingdom Hearts. Syndrome is cool, yes he is. Well, the thing about Syndrome that makes him so cool is he's a fanboy. That's what he is.
Excuse me.
What are your thoughts on Taka? Who the hell is Taka? Is that the Moana villain?
We have not seen Moana, even if we want it.
Yes, Joel and I have yet to see Moana, so if anyone is asking us questions about Moana, we have yet to see that.
Whoa.
That is the one Disney movie I really missed out on. That and Tangled.
The room below is called the Hall of the Cornerstone.
I think I've seen Frozen, I've seen Big Hero 6, I've seen Ratatouille, I have not seen Wreck-It Ralph.
The cornerstone of light?
Yeah, Moana's on. We should really do a commentary of that someday, Joel, and watch Moana.
Yeah, I gotta break down, just watch it with you.
I do too. You and I still need to watch Tron Legacy, but I'm opting to wait to watch Legacy before we do Dream Drop Distance, Joel.
That's fine.
Because Dream Drop Distance is where they use that.
So I don't mind what Maleficent's trying to do here.
Yeah.
I just feel like, just feels so downgrade.
I think part of the reason it feels like such a downgrade is that after this she's basically irrelevant for the rest of the game until Hollow Bastion.
And her brief appearance in Halloween Town.
Well, what have we here?
Yeah.
So
I
you know
don't
what?
even know why she bothers. I don't even know why she bothers with Halloween Town in the first place.
I don't know. So you know what's
Because to be
interesting?
fair, Oogie kind of represented kind of a roadblock for her. He really didn't add much.
But you must be patient.
Should have gone to Agrabah.
Just what are you doing
Yeah.
here,
What were you gonna say, Joel?
The manga, though, at least plays with this her a lot more better in terms of her whole goal is to get an army of Heartless and then lay siege to Hollow Bastion.
Too bright for what
They
Yeah,
play
no
more
more.
with the idea that the battle of 1,000 Heartless is her fault.
I think that's the original idea I think, but then I think the organization just kind of screwed that over.
if you know what's good for you?
That's the other thing about this game that I'm a little disappointed with, even though I do like the organization. I wish we saw Maleficent and the organization clash a bit more.
The castle belongs to me.
It doesn't work, though, because she doesn't have her own posse to back her up.
Well, you don't even have to have a posse. Just give her a force, a fighting force.
Well, she does have the fighting force, the Heartless. I love Thor. What a heck.
Before.
But I feel like she would be more of a problem for them.
A single clue.
94.
Also, another idea. Why aren't
90%.
actually? Here's another idea, Joel. If they were trying to get Beast Nobody, why didn't they try getting Maleficent?
Perfect. Merlin just
That's a good point. I have no idea.
Why don't they try getting any of the old villains Nobodies?
I think they might be trying to do that with Jafar
Let's go.
later on. But that
Maybe.
I know they want these Heartless. Here's
Well,
something
Pete does.
I've heard, and this isn't really canon, so it's not like I heard in like a Kingdom Hearts Insider thing. Let me check it
By
out.
the way, B-Grip says the organization most likely screwed her over from the beginning. Maleficent is too rebellious. Yeah, but you could say that about some of the other organization members. Marluxia, Larxene, Axel.
Ooh, Joe, do I want to equip Trinity Limit now or wait?
I'd wait. There's no... The problem with Trinity Limit is it really isn't that useful, except for the final move. The rest of it is pretty useless.
Okay, then I got the experience boost. That was probably a better long term.
Yeah, experience boost is definitely better. What were you gonna say, Joel?
I remember reading somewhere, like in a I think this comes from a Kingdom Hearts Insider thing, or like a
Yeah.
special thing where the idea is Organization 13 wanted Maleficent alive to make more Heartless.
But why would they need her for that?
She's good at spreading Heartless, and the more Heartless there are, the more Sora has to fight them.
Yeah, but I feel like...
And that speeds up the whole kingdom.
Yeah, but if they got her Nobody, shit, they could easily they would have a moneymaker for that. That's actually kind of a marvel. Why don't they get her Nobody? Then they'd have a Heartless machine right there.
It's you.
Maleficent understands patience, unlike Marluxia. I would almost agree with that.
Kingdom Hearts 1
except for the fact-
Maleficent didn't understand patience.
Well, the problem is with Marluxia is what they're doing with him nowadays. I don't know if I can quite agree with that.
Yup, and Heartless too.
Here's another thing I realized I've always noticed. Maleficent feels like a very different character in Kingdom Hearts 2.
I think dying does some shit to you, Joel.
She's more angry there, and I think more hot-headed. I feel like in the first
In
game
which
she's a lot...
1 or 2.
2.
That kind of makes sense, Joel, because she kind of had her whole plan basically strung out from beneath her.
Perhaps I'd better just...
Yeah, but then later on she goes back to that kind of very calm and calculating feel.
Well, to be fair, Joel, she's trying to get her cards back. If she was trying to get her cards,
In fact, I'm afraid it's
she'd, I think she'd be trying to, I feel like she'd be pretty impatient about trying to get some of that shit. And then when she's like, oh, I can finally get some shit. Okay, now things are going my way. Hee hee hee.
And you ever notice how in Dream Drop Distance she acts very differently as well? Like she feels like she knows more going on. She talks about
Yeah.
Xehanort. She feel like she's like... I feel like in that game she's like, okay, something's going on in her head. She knows stuff's going down, and I think she had a plan.
To be fair, Joel, with the end of Kingdom Hearts Chi, we know she knows a lot more than she lets on.
Howdy, Pickles and Chips.
Hey, Pickles and Chips, because the whole thing with Union Cross is that at the end we find out she at one point goes to a future timeline, so she at least at some point in 3 gets her hands on the Book of Prophecies.
If that's gonna be even canon.
No, I'm pretty sure Nomura stated that is canon.
when you do,
So she does at one point go to a future timeline.
Got it.
So either she screws over someone or kills someone. One of the two.
into a very
As long as Maleficent has importance again, I'm okay with anything. She can go back in time and find Sora as a baby for all I care.
No, at that point I feel like we're getting the really creepy factor. Actually, I doubt Disney would even ponder that.
Oh, I
Beaver
doubt
said
it.
she got her hands on the book of prophecy.
faith in you, my lads.
But yes, I would imagine whatever Maleficent's trying to do in a future timeline revolves around the black box, or at least Kingdom Hearts.
Also,
You know what would be interesting, Joel?
Mm-hmm.
What if... Actually, here's an interesting idea, Joel.
Interesting quandary. Yes.
It would explain why she's after the book of black box. Here's an interesting idea, Joel. What if the ending of 3 is Xehanort gets exactly what he wants?
That's been contemplated before.
And I mean, no, he doesn't just get what he wants, he ruins the worlds.
Then they better come up with Kingdom Hearts 3, 2, 4-pack.
Let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 ends with Maleficent and Sora in a different timeline after the worlds have been ruined, and a different time when the worlds are ruined.
So basically, Xehanort, Thanos, and Sora, Maleficent are Iron Man and Doctor Strange.
Yes, except Sora and Maleficent are opposing each other.
Alright.
Because now that everything's ruined, Maleficent's got free game. She can make the world as she sees fit.
Okay, here's the thing though. Will it fix itself by the end of 3? Because I don't want 3 to turn into Infinity War. It works for Infinity War. I do not want this for Kingdom Hearts. To have to wait to Kingdom Hearts 4 20 years later. And several side games.
No, I don't if you were gonna do that, I think you leave it as that be the status quo change and it stays that way.
But this is supposed to be the end of the Xehanort saga.
Well, that's the point. Xehanort dies doing it.
People are gonna have
remember Joel, he said he wanted to survive to see the Keyblade War. He never said anything about surviving after that.
Pills and chips. Kingdom Hearts 3 ending. Walt Disney's the true villain. If that happens, Cole, I'm just gonna say, to heck with everything, I'm gonna just do my own ending. With Chernobog as the final villain, Vanitas is Chernobog, it's gonna be the final shot between light and dark, and good triumphs over evil.
Oh, but you can't tell me that, Joel, because technically at that point, it's Sora versus Maleficent and Donald and Goofy.
Okay, you're right.
You can't tell me that wouldn't be interesting as hell.
It would make everything rounded out. Maleficent with the first villain, she's the last.
It would especially round things out though for the
Not so fast.
for the other Disney worlds, because you'd be dealing with the damaged Disney worlds. You would give the Disney worlds relevance again.
Yeah, although I hope 3 gives him some relevance. Let's beat up this old man because we don't like him.
Like, that's actually an interesting idea. I'd like to see someone play with that idea. Like, basically, Xehanort was mainly the one pulling the trigger, and Maleficent's the one that...
Benefits?
Imagine if Maleficent got her hand on Kingdom Hearts, yeah.
Cut the act.
Whoa.
And keep in mind, Joel, if Xehanort does that, then basically the X-Blade could be Maleficent's for the taking.
Doesn't seem quite right here.
She could technically take Kingdom Hearts for all she care.
So does Xehanort want Kingdom Hearts, or does he just want the war to start? Want to see a war?
I don't know.
So hit the road.
The one thing about Xehanort that we've never understood is what is it he's after exactly. Some say he wants Kingdom Hearts. Some say he says in Birth by Sleep he wants to see the world after the Keyblade War. That's why I highly doubt he's the Master of Masters. Because if he was the Master of Masters, he would know that.
Unless he doesn't know that yet and becomes the Master of Masters later.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, which I don't even know how that would work, but...
Also, we never talked about this, but Kingdom Hearts 2 is where time travel is officially introduced.
Yeah. Pickles and chips, everyone dies, the end.
Everyone dies, the end. That's a SpongeBob reference.
I don't want that.
So you want a Thanos situation, though?
No, Vigorith will know what I'm talking about. I want more
Vigorith
of a
already
Kefka
said
situation.
something. Vigor said he wants Kingdom Hearts in order for the...
He has to survive the Keyblade War, but why would surviving the Keyblade War? Why would he need to survive the Keyblade War to get Kingdom Hearts? It's been stated that you just need the X-Blade to control Kingdom Hearts.
Sidious's plan made more sense.
Huh?
Sidious had a more straightforward plan.
Yeah. Convoluted, but straightforward.
It makes sense in somewhat hindsight.
Yeah.
He's a
But
crisis.
Vigorith will know what I'm talking about. If I were doing that, I'd want it to be more of a Kefka. To rebalance the scale.
So he's Thanos.
No. No. That is from his perspective. Yeah, from Xehanort's perspective, Joel.
Well, from Thanos' perspective too, it's all about balance when it's not really.
Yeah. Are we getting Max and KH3, please? I don't know. I would love for that, but I don't know. The whole thing with Kefka is I would play it that Maleficent isn't the one who destroyed the worlds, but she's the one who basically is the evil surrounding after the worlds have been damaged. And now that she can rule as she pleases, she just needs someone to knock her off her post. But of course, to do that wouldn't be so easy, because of course, who can do that? If everyone's really in a world of destruction, what can she do? What can anyone else do, I mean? Remember, Joel, Nomura did say some other revelations in later Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff is going to be even harder to swallow than Aqua being Norded.
Oh boy.
He's talked about some other stuff. That's why I still to this day think Kyrie's getting Norded. I don't know what else there could be of getting Norded.
I don't know if I'm ready for that, Cole. I don't think my body's ready for an evil Kyrie. I don't even know what a good Kyrie's like.
Pickles and chips. What he says, do I look like a waiter? Kefka, that's a... Yeah, exactly.
At this point, if he's going all Kefka on there, we want to just bring in Bill Cipher. Bill Cipher would do it with so much better gravitas. He's all a...
So basically you're saying... you think Maleficent can't be that?
Maleficent's not completely crazy. She's a mistress of all evil, but she's a self-serving...
Well, I'm not talking... Well, Xehanort's the one just pulling the trigger. Maleficent's the one after the fact.
Well, I see Maleficent... let's see, let's do the car burning thing.
Yeah, do the car burning thing. The whole thing about Kefka and,
I don't think...
see an evil Kyrie, if only to emphasize light is not good.
True, but she might not be a Princess of Heart anymore, so...
True. The interesting thing about,
Also, I don't know why people want the whole light, dark, not good. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I don't mind it either.
I just think it's kind of a hipster thing.
Not if done right. Some of the other things can be hipster. Also, really, Joel, hipster?
Oh, isn't hipster... Well, I don't know what hipsters are, so...
I was about to say, Joel, like hipster, real... I love how Joel says, he's not... He was like, I don't know what hipsters are. I'm like...
it's the car... Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Yeah, have fun with the car, Joel. The whole thing with Kefka is not... Kefka is straightforward light and dark. Kefka's just straight up crazy evil. He just wants... He destroys the world because he wanted to have fun. Then he gets so powerful... At this point, he gets so batshit crazy, he just wants to destroy. He wants to continue destroying even after he's destroyed the world. The way I play it, though, is that that's not Maleficent. Xehanort just pulls the trigger so the world gets destroyed, and Maleficent is just the one who keeps that evil around, because hence, Mistress of all evil. GTFO hipsters. Pickles and Chip says.
I'm only part hipster because I don't like certain popular things.
But that's not what that's not what a hipster is, Joel.
It can be partially.
Partially. When I think hipsters, I think really casual stoners. Kind of like the Big Lebowski.
Well, that sounds like fun, but
Well, that takes care of that. Hey,
Kefka, the only Final Fantasy villain that actually destroys the world. Exactly, pickles and chips. The funny part is, the world gets destroyed in 13, but it's technically by one of the main characters.
you absolute idiot. You've managed to fail at everything.
One of the main characters kind of destroys the entire world.
You foolishly thought you could take my place while I was away.
And it's hilarious. Also, I don't get why Sora, Donald, and Goofy are confused about Maleficent here.
There'll be no place for you when our time comes.
yeah.
Useless imbecile.
Caius Ballad destroys the world by goading Null. In one version, yeah, but in another version, Null you can have Null basically just thrust his sword into Caius and he destroys the entire world. It's great. You can have Null be single-handedly responsible for dooming the entire world. It's hilarious. Kefka, wow, you destroyed your own world. Great job, kid.
I keep telling people, if you want a Kefka in Kingdom Hearts, because I don't know if they actually let Kefka into this game, just from what everyone says about him, just get Bill Cipher. He's your best substitute.
The only reason I would really want Kefka in the game to begin with is I just want a straight-up crazy clown character. I want to get someone as close to the Joker as we can, and we can't do that because we don't own DC. Because let's face it, Joel, Joker totally needs to be in one of these games.
Oh, totally. I would love to see a Batman crossover with Kingdom Hearts.
I would too. And Kefka's as close to that as we're gonna get.
And I don't know if they'll let Kefka into these games for some reason.
No, Kefka, oddly enough, there's a lot of really dark-ass shit in Final Fantasy VI, but he's usually not responsible for most of it. I mean, we do see in the original version, we do have a character get raped in Final Fantasy VI, but now to be fair, it's sprites, but still rape. Kefka freaks even Bill Cipher out.
Well, I feel like they would be buddies. Maybe I don't know. Well, Bill just wants to make the world weird. Well, like I'm sure he probably would destroy it if he had to.
From what you're telling me, Joel, Kefka sounds more batshit crazy than Bill Cipher.
It's hard to tell. I mean, Bill Cipher's on that level.
Bill Cipher kind of reminds me of the Cheshire Cat.
Nah, well, first off, Bill Cipher actually attacks people and can be way scarier than the Cheshire Cat. He'd actually kill people.
Vigriff, I really don't like outro. Oh boy, Vigriff, that's a whole discussion for another time. That's a whole.
That's Pickle and Chip who said that. Oh, wait.
No, that's a Vigriff.
Oh, sorry, wrong comment.
Yeah, the whole outro thing, Vigriff, that's a whole can of worms to try and get into. Pickles and Chips Sleeves got manhandled. In a manner of speaking, yes. In the original version, you see two guards basically rape her. Which is funny because that's the same game Setzer comes from.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, Joel?
Yeah?
We have Setzer in this game, and he's nothing like he is from 6, which is even stranger because he's one of the first characters to be designed by Nomura, character-wise, too. And in Final Fantasy VI, Setzer is a gambler, and actually a really likable guy. He's actually quite a lot of fun to be around.
Setzer! Sorry.
He's a fun guy, and when the world gets ruined, he's one of the ones that kind of gets the team together.
Yeah.
Pickles and Chips, hey Kate, Setzer. Yeah, he's kind of... It's like Nomura wanted to make a really bad parody of him, and that's what he did. Because the line about him saying in the battle, "My life is a chip in your pile, time to ante up," that's the line he says when he first joins the party in 6. The whole thing is, "My life is a chip in your pile, ante up." He's basically saying, "I'm in." So that quote in this game makes absolutely no sense.
Come on, he needs our help.
Oh boy. I feel like if I start trying to think about 13, I'm gonna lose brain cells tonight. Joel.
Yeah, I'm here, just concentrating.
Pickles and chips, he's a pretty boy here, why? Which is funny, because I feel like that's what people would be saying about Cypher.
Not Bill Cipher. Unless you look at his fan art.
Actually, you know, I am gonna ask this here. To any of the late, I also don't like the Cloud versus Sephiroth subplot in this game. Yeah, same here, Theogriff. Funny, okay, to any women that eventually watch this video, who do you think is more attractive, Setzer or Cypher? The whole thing with the Cloud versus Sephiroth subplot in this game is it's a really bad stereotype of what their whole battle is like in 7, except it's not.
Why do you think a portal to a past revealed itself to Pete?
To our advantage.
I don't know. I have never understood that.
Perhaps I could give you one more chance to
This makes it, the fact that a portal somehow appears to him, it made no sense to me. Maybe Pete was born from a sorcerer. Maybe he's Yensid's son.
What have we here?
Maybe.
Well, if it isn't the corner.
But that would
Didn't you
also
say
mean
that
Yensid. But then that would say Yensid. Basically that would mean Yensid screwed a dog. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Pete's a cat.
Then that means he really banged a cat. Pickles and chips. It's cheesy and onion. That yeah. Only Namor knows him. He won't give straight answers. Exactly.
Cause it's cool. That's why.
So basically, Yensid would have had to have banged a cat. What the? I don't even want to think about how that went down. I already had to imagine that with Blaze Blue, and I don't want to imagine that again.
Here's a. Wait, I forgot what I was thinking about.
The subplot was like straight out of Sailor Moon. Actually, yes.
Cole, I don't know if I'm ready for evil Kyrie still. She better be cheesy as heck.
Joel.
She better be cheesy and over the top. I want
to see her be cheesy as hell.
I want Vanitas, but like Vanitas insanity, but on steroids.
Tigger's laughing at my whole Blaze Blue comment. Oh boy. The fact that I had to imagine a small cat person having intercourse with a really attractive, really busty, red-headed witch. The fact that I had to picture that in my mind, and that they had a child together, I don't know if I'm ever going to get over that.
For anybody Gravity Falls fans, if you read a Gravity Falls comic, you all know that if Mabel ever turns to the dark side, everybody's screwed. Kingdom Hearts, it's over. Leonor, you lost. Mabel will destroy us all. I had this whole thing where like Mabel was actually like could be the ultimate evil if she went to the dark side.
Vigriff, how about no on evil Kyrie's demeanor? Whoa, Vigriff, did you just say that Nomura is actually going to think about having Kyrie play with Sora? Oh god. No, I didn't need to think about that. I didn't need to think about Dominatrix Kyrie. No, God no.
I've already read fanfiction about that, Cole. It's too late for me.
No, I don't want to see that.
And she ain't Norded either.
Well, I know that, but if she was Norded, it'd be even scarier. Because technically that means Sora had sex with Leonor.
Oh, now that's ruined.
Yeah, think about that, Joel. Think about that.
Although I do love it when they write Kyrie like into like weird kinky stuff. Like she's not this wholesome person you think she is.
Some of the people you think are the most wholesome usually aren't, Joel.
Oh, I think Kyrie's like with
chips. Onward, Sayoshi. Yeah.
Man, that was
Oh god. Oh, and you're about to destroy this town completely, Joel.
Nope.
Oh god, oh god. The fanfiction's practically writing itself.
It's already been written.
Actually, here's an even darker thought, Joel. What if Mickey gets Norted?
They're about to begin
I don't think. Do you think they would? I don't think they would let them do that.
But until then,
Well, wait. There is technically an evil Mickey out there, but it's more like a weird demonic thing. Which, funny enough, comes from the same cartoon that the secret boss from Dream Drop Distance is in, so...
Viger says I want to see evil Kyrie to be as inhuman as Ansem and Xemnas.
Nope, I got it. I know what I want to see. I want evil Kyrie to mess with Sora by making out with Vanitas in front of him.
Like I said, fanfiction is practically writing itself. Viger, if only drunk on light instead of dark.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I doubt it either. I would mind Kyrie becoming a perversion of what she thinks the light is. That'd be interesting. Kind of like the whole Under the Red Hood thing, where Jason Todd kind of becomes a perversion of Batman.
True, but Xehanort's part of the 13 Darknesses, not the 7 Lights. Unless he's going for unless he's doing a thing where he wants to control all the lights and the darknesses and have them clash, but all be him. But I don't know how that works.
Thank God he's not hoping that. I hope he's not going the harem route where he just wants some Norded women under his wing. I mean, he did that with Aqua. Oh God.
And
oh God. Oh God.
A couple of the organization members who are female.
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God.
Your poor little brain. Your poor little.
Yeah, no, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to think about that.
It's Leonard Nimoy, so I don't mind.
I don't want to think about that. Pickles and chips. No, do not. No, don't do that to me. Do not do that to me.
He's Xehanort. You never know what he's doing to do next.
He said, Lark scene, giggity.
Giggity goo. Alright.
I don't want to see Lark scene be on top and Aqua being the receiver. No.
You need brain bleach, Cole, and lots of it.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't think we're gonna do pirates, by the way.
Huh?
I don't think we're gonna do pirates, by the way, just so everyone knows.
Dude, I don't think we'll be able. I need to wash my brain clean of this tonight.
We can try tomorrow night.
Yeah,
oh, yeah. I don't think I might have something.
We're probably gonna have to talk over most of Pirates because there's not a lot to say there.
If you want
to see a good example of evil Kyrie, look up Deepest Descent.
What's Deepest Descent? Oh, I think it's a fan fiction. Is that a fan fiction?
Yes.
Deepest Descent. It sounds familiar. I remember reading something about an evil Kyrie in a fan fiction a while back. But
Pickles and chips. Pete just beat himself. Yes, he did.
I might lose on.
Pete is the. This is the ultimate battle of stop hitting yourself.
Alright, just.
This is a lot easier than I remember it being.
I'm overpowered, remember, Cole.
True. This is the best fight with Pete. What's coming up? Where he changes all the scenes. I love it.
It's pretty hot. Yeah, it is pretty epic. I feel like you can make Pete more tragic.
Yeah. I had no idea on what you were talking about earlier because it was something dirty. Thank. Yes, it was something dirty, Vigriff. If you need to use your imagination, it's better that way.
No, it's worse.
Exactly.
Let's see what we get. Ooh, dodge
it's like
dash.
when you ever see a voice actor. It's like when you talk to a voice actor and they talk about horrible things that someone has said to them in the past, or funny, horrible things, and they ask them to talk about. He's like, no, and he's like, oh yeah, use your imagination. It's better that way.
Hey, Tara Strong get away from some strange stories.
Yeah, something about sex with Xehanort. I will not confirm nor deny that, Deegriff.
I bet Tara Strong's a riot though at parties when she's talking about her stories. Because you know she's crazy, right? You know she's just insane.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think when you had to play Timmy Turner for a good chunk of your life, Joel, I think I'd be pretty crazy too.
Timmy Turner, Twilight Sparkle, Raven, Bubbles,
Riku. Oh God, Vigor says the most violent masturbation we have seen. Oh, ho, ho. Ho, ho.
Riku, when he's thinking about Sora.
Yeah, he wants that D. I think he wants the D.
This is where our podcast always descends into when I'm with you, Cole. Ben 10, yep, Tara Strong to Ben 10.
To be fair, Joel, some of our podcasts before this have gotten a lot worse, even with Red on.
That's true.
A lot worse.
It could have been worse, John. No, yeah. I just haven't.
I mean, Pete was fighting himself, yeah.
Okay, we're nearing the end here.
You know what an interesting question I've always heard asked, Joel? That's always a good question for a date or something, or a good question to get to know someone.
What?
If you could, would you ever have sex with yourself? Not masturbation. I mean, if there was a clone, would you ever have sex with yourself?
Nah, not that sexy.
And the answer always varies, and you can always tell at least you can get a good chunk of their personality of what they're like based on that question.
Nah, not for me. I'm not that into my. Oh yay.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, I would not have sex with myself.
I'm not.
I like my handsome devil self, but I couldn't do it. I don't really feel like I gain anything from it. It's not gay, it's masturbation. It's like that one YouTube video I saw that says it's not gay if it's on the moon. It's not gay if it's back in time.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, no, that doesn't work.
Oh boy.
I love that we have that line in Kingdom Hearts. And stay out.
I kind of feel sad that they befriend younger Pete.
Yeah.
Again, I feel Pete should be more tragic. You know,
yeah.
Cole.
I also love the fact, huh?
I would do a thing where later on Pete would turn back to the good side.
I can see that. I also like how Sora starts to say, "Hello, that creep was you from the future."
Spoilers.
And Goofy just covers his mouth. He's like, "Sora, that's a secret."
Know
Chips know something. What's
No,
up?
And to show you my appreciation, I'll let you pilot my steamboat. Best little
Tiffany's
path on the river.
happened on Twitter.
My deckhand Mickey's late anyway.
Huh?
Oh, nothing.
You're wondering if anything's happening on Twitter?
Yep. Ooh.
Joel, these days nothing happens on Twitter.
Yeah.
Also, that boat is way too damn small for them to, and a preview scene for them to be in it.
I'll bet you the castle's safe and loud. Guess we should head back. Donald.
Heard you heard of a user by the name of Succubus Yuri. If so, then that's the writer of Deepest Descent.
Gotcha.
On fanfiction. Huh.
Cooler than real art fan fiction, unlike me.
Even Mr. Clean can't clean up the Slender Man movie fan base. Oh God.
Oh, you want to know what that's all about?
Oh God. I've talked about this time and time again. I love Slender Man. That movie will bomb. I will see it. I hope it's good. Probably won't be. I hope it is good though. But that whole concept kind of died about 6 or 7 years ago. be Mr. Clean in one of these games.
Safe and protected again.
I'm Mr. Clean.
So much for all you've done.
Should be played by Patrick Stewart,
Now,
too.
boys, I hope you didn't do anything reckless while you were there.
Cole, what's your birthday month?
Huh?
What's your birthday month?
Why are you asking?
Cause you get to choose which Joker you are.
February.
You get Larry Storch.
Who the hell is that?
Yeah, it looked like a Joker from a cartoon from a very long time ago. I got Jeff Bennett.
Beaver asked, what do you think of Child's Play? I have not seen it. The Teen Titans Go movie didn't bomb. I'm glad it didn't bomb.
I actually heard it was good for people, so that's always a
Here
surprise.
is one of 3 scenes that Daisy ever appears in.
And talks.
Yes. I feel bad for Daisy.
Donald?
She gets the shaft.
Going somewhere?
And no, I did not mean that as a pun, people. Don't go there.
Oh, look.
Bigger 69 Teen Titans Go fan. I'm not a Teen Titans fan in general. Not that I don't like them, I just have never watched that stuff. Oh yeah, Joe, I think it's confirmed that Black Mass is going to be in Birds of Prey.
That's right.
I will laugh like hell if Birds of Prey ends up being the best DCEU movie. I will laugh. That would be so hilarious. To be fair, I do want to see a decent Black Canary and Huntress on screen. So there's that.
Good to see Black Mask getting some love.
Easy. We need Donald for just a little longer.
Actually, now that I think about it, if Black Canary is going to be in DCU, I guess that means Green Arrow is also a thing. So I guess Green Arrow is going to show up at some point.
Well, it's not going to be the Green Arrow you know.
Well, yeah, no, it'll be comic Green Arrow. Well, quote-unquote comic Green Arrow. And well, Huntress being, yeah, Green Arrow, I guess would have to be. I think, yeah.
Alrighty.
And you have
So,
wisdom form, so I'd go crazy on leveling that up, Joel.
our
Chip says what? No creeper in DCU.
I guess not. Well, folks, I think I'm gonna call it a night for this live stream. We got through both Olympus and Disney Castle. Hopefully soon
Joel
we'll
and I
get.
just expected to get through Olympus.
Well, if I over level like I keep doing, I could get through maybe Pirates and at least one of these two.
Yeah.
How long this gummy ship mission takes. Should I do gummy ship missions on live stream call or do them just after the fact?
Let's ask the people in the audience. Would you like to see, do you really want to see the gummy missions in, the actual live streams themselves?
I mean, doesn't matter really.
If you really want to see them, we'll show them. But, story-wise, they don't have a lot to offer.
Some of these worlds don't have a lot to offer, but anywho.
Well, Atlantis definitely doesn't, but, you know.
We're doing that. We're still doing that, though.
You just want to hear sort of thing.
Yeah. We'll do it. Well, we'll do it like second to last. Okay,
Victor
Victor says
nah.
All right. Well, folks, ooh, we were getting 4 people. Dang it. Well, folks.
Really?
I hate when it's happening.
They jumped in right as we were getting ready to end.
Well, folks, we're ending now, so until next
Sometimes
time.
it thinks begins and then they stop.
Exactly. So I'm going to be training.
Train wisdom, Joel. You need to train the wisdom form.
Oh, I will.
Remember, that's how you. And remember, you try. How do you train wisdom again?
You just fire.
Is it fire or is it using magic? I forget.
No, it's just fire. You said.
Okay.
Okay. So we go. So see you guys later.